close your eyes for a moment. Picture someone you love more than anything. Now imagine being in a place where they desperately need you, but you can't understand a single word. No matter how much you want to help, the language feels like an invisible wall between you and them. This is the fear that haunted Daniel every night, a fear that became very real the day he found out his mother needed urgent medical care abroad. At that moment, Daniel realized that learning English wasn't just another goal on his list. It became a mission of love. And if this story touches your heart, if it makes sense to you, take a second to like this video. That way, YouTube will know you love learning English in a real and emotional way, and it will recommend even more stories that can change your journey. Because sometimes the most powerful reasons to grow are not found in textbooks, but in the people we love the most. Welcome to Stories to Learn English, the channel where your English gets better every day. Hit subscribe and let's get started. Daniel wasn't a man who made promises lightly. Growing up, he watched his mother, Marta, work endless hours to give him a future. She was the one who stayed up late helping him with school projects, the one who believed in him when no one else did. And now, faced with her illness and the challenge of navigating a world in another language, Daniel knew it was his turn to be strong for her. But strength, he quickly realized, wasn't just about being physically present. It was about speaking up when it mattered, understanding doctors, filling out paperwork, asking the right questions, protecting her with more than just love. It meant protecting her with words she could not say herself. He felt the heavy weight of that promise every time he opened a beginner's English textbook, every time he stumbled through a new phrase, every time doubt whispered that it was too late for him to learn. But he pushed those thoughts aside. His mother had never given up on him, and he refused to give up on her. The days blurred together, filled with new vocabulary, late night practice sessions, and countless mistakes. But hidden inside every mistake was something stronger, a silent promise that failure was not an option. As Daniel faced the enormity of what lay ahead, something inside him shifted, a realization that learning English wasn't just for survival. It was a bridge built out of love, one word at a time. In the beginning, progress felt invisible. Daniel would listen to podcasts in English during his commute, repeating simple phrases under his breath. At home, he stuck post-it notes on everything: the fridge, the door, even the bathroom mirror, each labeled with its name in English. His world became a classroom, and every moment was a chance to learn. Some days were harder than others. After long shifts at work, his mind felt heavy, and frustration crept in like a slow fog. How will I ever understand real conversations? He wondered. The fear of failure gnawed at him, whispering that maybe he wasn't good enough, that maybe he had waited too long to start. But each time those thoughts surfaced, he pictured his mother sitting in a sterile hospital room, needing him. And that image fueled him more than any grammar rule or study guide ever could. Slowly, without noticing at first, the words began to stick. Appointment, doctor, emergency, support. They weren't just vocabulary, they were lifelines, tools that would allow him to stand between his mother and the unknown. One night, as Daniel practiced phrases aloud, he realized he was no longer translating every word in his head. The meaning flowed naturally like a quiet river finding its way around the rocks. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. Enough to comfort, enough to protect. The transformation wasn't marked by fanfare or grand celebrations. It was in the little victories. The moment he understood a full sentence, the time he booked an appointment without stumbling, the quiet pride he felt knowing he was becoming what his mother needed most. And so, step by step, word by word, Daniel built his bridge, not to a place, but to a person. The person who had given him everything. The day of the trip arrived faster than Daniel expected. Sitting beside his mother on the flight, he held her hand tightly, silently promising her and himself that everything would be all right. She smiled at him, unaware of the invisible battle he had been fighting these past few months. A battle fought with flashcards, late nights, and endless determination. When they landed, the world felt louder, faster, and somehow more intimidating. Signs in English flashed by, announcements filled the air, and Daniel's heart raced. But then he remembered. He was ready. Maybe not perfect, but ready. At the hospital, when the nurse approached and spoke quickly in English, Daniel's instincts kicked in. He answered, hesitating only slightly. He filled out the forms, explained his mother's condition, asked about the next steps. His words were simple, sometimes clumsy, but they carried the weight of something deeper than fluency. They carried love. His mother looked at him with eyes full of pride. Even though she couldn't understand the conversation, she didn't need to. She could feel it. The calm in Daniel's voice, the quiet strength in his presence. In that sterile, unfamiliar place, he became her anchor. For Daniel, every fear, every frustration, every late night suddenly made sense. This was why he learned English, not for himself, not for a certificate, but for this exact moment, standing strong for the person who had always stood for him. And as he sat beside his mother, holding her hand through the uncertainty, Daniel realized something beautiful. Learning a new language wasn't just about mastering grammar or vocabulary. It was about building bridges when they were needed the most. Weeks later, Daniel found himself sitting at his mother's bedside, watching her slowly recover. They didn't need many words between them, just a glance, a touch, a quiet presence. But knowing he could step in whenever needed, understanding doctors, explaining details, offering comfort in a foreign language, that was a victory greater than any he had ever imagined. Learning English had started as a heavy obligation, a race against time. But it became something far more powerful. It became a bridge, not just between two languages, but between two hearts. And maybe that's what true learning is all about. It's not about chasing perfection or fearing mistakes. It's about finding a reason that's bigger than fear, a reason that keeps you moving forward even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard, if you're on your English journey and you ever feel lost, remember this. You're not just learning words, you're building bridges to new places, new dreams, and to the people who matter most. And if this story inspired you, if it reminded you why you started, leave a comment below with one word in English that represents your biggest motivation. Let's keep building these bridges together, one word at a time.